Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I want to share with you just a quick way to do a coloring project that is therapeutic in nature. And the reason it's therapeutic in nature is it is designed to give you a break away from your normal activities or as a way for you to de-stress. That means get your mind off of whatever it is you're thinking about and just allow the art to come forth and be created. And the way that you refocus your attention from your thoughts is to strictly focus on the coloring of the project. That means to changing a color, using the same color, just adding variety to it, whether it's bearing down harder on the coloring material, if it's a coloring pencil or a marker. You can also use these with paints, and if you use them with paints, the paper you want to use is a paper that is appropriate for the paint material that you're using. And what I mean by that is if you're going to use watercolors, use watercolor paper. If you're going to use acrylic paints, use a paper that is designed to handle the acrylic paints. You also are able to use a mixed media type of paper, and that will handle just about any medium that you choose, whether it's a marker or paints. The watercolors require more water and therefore it causes the paper to buckle. There is also marker paper, which is designed for you to paint on the front or one surface of the marker paper without it bleeding through to the other side. Now it depends on what paper you get, the quality of the paper, and how it will hold up to the paint medium material. This what I'm going to show you is just plain copy paper, nothing special about this. So if you're at your desk and you have a break, 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever, you can use just a sheet of copy paper. No lines unless you want to just make lines, but I tend to use a ruler for that. So this is designed to do it almost anywhere and for a smaller length of time. Now, a mandala is generally a sort of a round object, and then it gets fancy from there. So symmetrically, you'd use a circle. This is the bottom off of one of the DVD holders. You can use a container, the bottom of a cup. It doesn't matter. You can use anything if you want your mandala round. So I'm going to put more than one on here, and I'm going to just use an ink pen because I'm not concerned so much with the outside edge, and so that's not good and round since the bottom is moving. However, it's up to you. So this is a container that I use for paints, and it really isn't a paint container. It is like a ketchup, a condiment container is what it is, and it makes a really nice circle, and that's all you need. You can come into this, and this is what I like to do with these. Allow your intuition to just come forward. Go through this, not creating your typical mandala, but this is something I used to do as a child, and I would cover the entire page. I'm going to show it to you in a small area, but you can go larger, or you can take up the whole page. Now you just take this pen or pencil and you move through this circle area, creating overlapping lines, whether they are fluid or not, it's up to you. So some of the edges I got really tight with it, so you see how that is. I'm going to use this and make a square, and this is something that you can do. It doesn't have to be, you want it to be neater than what I just did, not that on the ends, but you have this that you can now do something with. You can put a circle in it. I'm going to do the outside of it because I wanted to take up a little bit more space. Mandalas are generally symmetrical from left to right, top to bottom. And this is causing you to loosen up a little bit because I'm not exactly doing that. I'm doing a variation of that. Now I can put another shape in here. I'm going to do something that appears to be a fan. I'm going to, I was looking at a fan just a few minutes ago. And in this I can put more lines if you decide you want to add more lines. Just come in and add more lines. Creating your own design. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can see that. And then you can come back in here and do other shapes if you like. Let's see, I'll just turn the paper, and I'm just going to go side to side from one line to the other on this, creating just a different design. That's all I'm doing, creating a different design. I can then come in here and do little circles if I want, just putting them together and filling up the space. If you doodle a lot, that will work really well. And just fill up the space. And these can be large. I started out with small ones there. I can then come in here and do some larger ones. There is no right or wrong way to do this. You're just filling up the space. And then I'll go back with some smaller ones. And that's if you just want to create something that is full of mark making. Now you can color these circles in individually if you so choose, or you can color in an area. And each break is a different color if you prefer. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to now begin to color. Depends on what color you feel for that day or that moment. You can start with that and branch off into something else. Any pencils, color pencils will do. If you can't get your hands on a set of color pencils, just grab a set of crayons. Now what I often did with this, see if I can bring this up a little higher. With this shape, each individual shape is a separate color. That means I'd come in here. You can use the tip or you can use the side and fill that up. And you can make that light, dark, or a combination of both. So I colored that in with that color. I'm going to come back up here. Just change your colors at will. It's up to you. I'm using the sides of the crayon to cover more space. And the weird thing with this is I have this on top of a cardboard box that I use to push the painting surface up closer to the camera. And as you can see, there's little, even within there looks to be a pattern, which is fine. That will work. There's no right or wrong way. It's just all a matter of relaxing and taking your time and coloring in each area. And that's lighter. I'm going to come over here with the same color. You can use the same colors over and over. I'm coming here with the same colors, however, I'm going to make this edge darker using the same color. So part of it is dark, part of it is light, or I can go in and make the whole thing dark. using whichever colors you feel you want in here. Bringing it all together here. And of course, depends on how you make your mark, what it will look like. But you can go back and forth over these, making them as dark or as light as you like. This whole thing is just about coloring in the space. And so like with this, if you want to, you can come over here and color in this space here. And then we will switch to another color. Just taking your time and going through whatever you feel like. That's all you're doing. I'm not even going to put anything else into this space over here. I'm going to leave this space blank. Now, because I'm using this cardboard box, it's creating that pattern for me. You see that pattern? So that was created holding it this way. I'm going to turn it, and hopefully I can get that pattern again on the other side. And without trying, I just put a pattern on that side. Using this cardboard surface. So whatever surface you're using, it will show up on there. And that is a quick way to do a type of mandala without having an official mandala. Now I can also do something to this outside area, because this is the entirety of this particular mandala is square. So now I can come out here and do something with this outside area. And I think I want to use something a little more attention giving. Hopefully it will do that. I'm going to turn it slightly, remembering that that pattern is underneath there, so I want to turn it slightly, see what I pick up. It's going straight through the design that's there. I can choose to stay like this just on the outside, or see how that line started going through there. I can choose to make that line go right on through. You want to manipulate it in such a way that this is not colored all the way outside there, but that's for demonstration purposes. And if I wanted to, I could take an eraser and clean this up, because a lot of times the color pencil will come off with that. But that is how you do a quick on the fly. That's an alternative to the regular mandalas. And then this can be done anywhere. I use colored pencils. You can use colored pens. You can use markers. Use a different type of paper. You can even use paints. Alright, I'm back and I have finished coloring in this. I added some patterns on the fly. So you're not tied into a fast and sure pattern. You can change your patterns as you go. Looking at this here, I was just trying to use, on this one I was just trying to use all of the colors in the box. But as you can see, I colored it in, trying not to put the same color next to each other. That's what you want to do. These two colors are pretty close, although one is a lavender and one is a purple. But that still doesn't matter. In here, I put these patterns in. On this one, I started out with the orange color, and I thought, well, what two colors make orange? It was yellow and red, so I just filled in all these circles on that side. I didn't bother with the background of it. And here, I went ahead and went with the yellow and the blue makes the green, and the patterns got a little wonky, but that doesn't matter as long as I got them all in. So I just want you to see you're not tied into anything, but just allow yourself to paint. using all the colors in the box if you like, or using all of the same colors. You can use complementary colors, or you can use like colors for your favorite team if you're into the sports. Anything goes with these. You don't have to stay so much in the line, but for here, just kind of ignore the coloring outside of the line. You can clean it up if you want to, but this is just a exercise or something for relaxation, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'll just go to the next page. Some of these you may find to be really interesting. What I like to do is keep them in a journal if you like. Your main thing is to get this coloring done, the pattern made and the coloring done, so that you can change your focus, your thoughts. Relax. I had a tightening in my shoulder neck area, and I found that the more I got into which color haven't I used, just focusing on that, also focusing on the sound that the instrument makes when you're touching the paper. For instance, I'm going to let you hear what this sounds like. As you're making the marks, just focus on the sound that the instrument is making as it's touching the paper. The other thing is, make sure you understand, since this is an intuitive type relaxation project, you can kind of do whatever you would like because nothing is wrong. So I'm going to just let you see. You hear that? Coming back across there, I'm changing the color that I've laid down. And it's showing both, but I'm still changing the color, and it changes the sound that the instrument makes as it's going across the paper. That helps change what you're focusing on. So that's what this is all about. Changing your focus for a period of time so that you can de-stress, so that you can just relax. And that is what this is all about. So this would be nice to place into a journal. So what I'll do on another video is I'll just show you how this works in a journal, because you can cut this pattern out and glue it to your journal, or you can do this pattern in the journal itself. Until next time, it's just a mandala alternative for relaxation.